Tonight on Screen Geeks, we're going to talk about that new Invincible trailer, G.I. Joe TV series, Spider-Man 3 getting a title, and more. All that tonight on Screen Geeks. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Screen Geeks, the live TV and film and gaming geeky talk show, Thursdays at 9 p.m. And with me, always, Thursdays at 9 p.m., is Ralph Apple. How you doing tonight, Ralph?
I'm doing great. If it was released as untitled Spider-Man film, I would be so happy.
That'd be kind of cool, happy. To be honest.
Just do it. Just do it. I don't know. I kind of followed it, but I heard it's a Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm.
So Home for the Holidays?
No, it's not. They should have went with Home for the Holidays, but that's not the title.
Oh, did they give the title?
Yeah, that happened. At least I thought it did. Maybe they were just teasing it.
Yeah, they did a bunch of different titles. Oh man,
they did.
This is great. Because I was thinking, well, if it hasn't been revealed, mine, since it's probably going to take place in the multiverse, Home Away from Home is my guess. Home Away from Home.
After guys sees various possibilities. Let's see. Hey, we'll talk about it when we get to it. Okay, yeah, the actual one is confirmed. The title is No Way Home is the official title.
Oh, okay, cool.
No Way Home. So we'll talk about the possibilities and the ramifications of that name when we get to that section. But before we do any of that, how you doing, Ralph?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah, you're doing all right. This
Thursday. It's all right. It's Thursday. Man, this episode came in hot.
It did. I do apologize for the late posting and everything. So people are like, I didn't know it was going to happen. That's totally on me. It's just work's been busy, and then sometimes run right into dadding of the geek dad life, and it ran late. So excited to be here to talk geek with all of you, and you especially, Ralph. My oldest one, arguably my oldest geek friend, I think. One of my oldest, because before that it's like I was 20 when we met. So before that it's like high school and middle school friends. So you might be like a geek friend.
Cool.
Yeah. Jay Griffiths is here. Colleen is here. Jay Griffiths is saying hi to Colleen. PD Dubs. Heyo, PD Dubs. No Way Home. Old school Shinobi is in the house. Howdy, Jay, Colleen, and Ralph.
You get two hellos, and Colleen gets a hello before I get a hello. That's cool. I'll take that credit. The and credit.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
We're in the show, so that's people like hanging out in the chat. It's like two different things going on.
There's two J's.
Yeah, there's Jay Griffiths, who is has become a fan of your work, Ralph. I think more so than my own work. So there's that. I'm not jealous or anything, Jay. All right, moving on here. Big week this week on the channel, Geek Dad Life, because I got my hands on that Castle Grayskull. If you haven't seen the video yet, check it out. It's on the channel. A lot of people already have it. I think it's one of my hottest released videos ever.
I watched it.
Because, yeah, it is. So I want to go.
I can't believe you hated it so much.
I didn't. I freaking love this thing. I think it's because I just didn't have any expectations that I would like it.
Right.
But it's so big.
I know.
Like I felt like
you like to hug it. You're like hugging it the whole episode, and then
this is how I was recording the overdubs. I think you could hear the joy as I was recording the overdubs. No. Yeah, that intro usually I end right after the bye Mattel, but then I was just like, this is so cool, and that's the rest is history. Anywho, definitely check it out. But it's so cool. This thing is amazing on so many levels. We'll dig into it more on Toy Geeks, because I know Ralph doesn't like to talk too much about the toy geekery, but still, if you haven't seen it, check it out. And really exciting stuffs.
I mean, I know Colleen's in the chat, and you kept saying in the review under $80.
Mm-hmm.
What is the actual retail price?
I think if you order it from Walmart, it's $74.99 or something.
Oh, okay.
But other retailers, I think it is about $80 or $79. Walmart is the cheapest. But you know.
But they take some of your soul.
Yeah, right. PD Dubs, I have no room for Castle Grayskull, but I will find it and buy it. Listen, PD Dubs, if I'm not mistaken, you have like a Masters of the Universe like in-cap display, if I remember correctly. So if you have room for that, you have room for a Grayskull. That's all I'm saying.
What's great about it too is the way it opens up flat, and you can display your figures on it. So it's not going to be taking up too much space. In fact, it's going to give you some shelf space for more of your figures.
There's tons of, there's 3 levels of shelf space.
Right. And a trap door.
I mean, that's the beauty of the original Grayskulls. It has all the essentials of a good playset. Trap door, a lock key to get in, elevator. They always got to have an elevator.
Right.
Which, you know, again, that standard was set back with the Death Star playset, right? It had trap door, elevator.
When I was a kid, I got a hand-me-down Death Star. When you don't expect a Death Star and you just get one, it's awesome.
How complete was it? Because I had a hand-me-down as well, but it was trash by the time I got it.
I think the only thing missing was the Dianoga, but it still had sponges. It still had the sponges.
Yeah.
And then I think it had everything. The cardboard insert, the gun was intact. It had the grapple swing. The elevator worked.
The swing is a rare part. If that's
and it had the little plastic for the tractor beam. Like everything seemed there except the Dianoga, and which is fine. If you're going to get a free Death Star, I mean, you kind of want the Dianoga,
absolutely. But at the
same time, yeah, you could put I would just put rubber snakes in there. It worked fine.
Yeah, that set, I'm very thankful. I have well, it was almost complete, but I found all the parts for my Death Star that I have in my collection. And the sponge is still intact, which is a rarity nowadays. But you know, they sell replica sponges, and it's not that big of a deal.
Right.
Old School Shinobi Ralph rocking the boom stick in his S Smart t-shirt.
Yeah, I was trying to think if I've wore this one on the show. I don't think I have. Yeah. Trying to mix it up.
Let's see. Jagers, I still haven't seen that in cap. I had one Walmart that had that Motu Origins in cap, but they cut it in half, so I didn't get to see like the cool artwork on top of it, which is really sad. P-Dub says, gave the in cap to a friend because I have no room. Oh man, why'd you get? I think you had 2. I think. Let's see. Old School says no toys for Ralph until he learns how to treat his mask vehicles. Don't tempt him, Old School. Don't do it.
There's one way to tempt me to do it, and I will do it, and you know the rules. But okay, so I've been on this mask kick, and I'm up to episode 35. I watched episode 35 of Mask last night, and then I started watching YouTube videos showing off all the toys, and like the Mask toy line seems so inconsistent. Like Condor and Hurricane are like real solid. Firefly, real solid toys, but like Switchblade and Thunderhawk look so flimsy.
And they are.
Yeah. And I'm like I can't even begin to explain to you how tough Firefly is. Firefly is so tough. Like, get your hands on a Firefly and tell me that it's not indestructible. No, Jay. I'll get it down. I'll get it down. I'll just slide it off my top shelf and land it right here on the mic.
Zimmer down.
I'm gonna grab it.
He didn't say it. They didn't say it. Why?
There's enough in there.
Yeah, I think
still the greatest Mask toy.
Well, I think it just depends on the type of car, right? Because the Thunderhawk with the gull wing doors, I think just that mechanism itself just lends itself to be easy to break,
right?
You know?
But then even when the gull wing doors are down, the lasers are always sagging. The little the little side pipes, the chrome pieces. It's just.
Well, I think that's just by design. I think that's just by design. So,
I mean,
add any.
This is a brick. This thing's a brick.
This would look like the Hurricane. We know. All right. I think that's everything. Everything out of the way.
I did notice on the show that at the beginning, Hurricane was called the Night Stalker, and I'm wondering if the name changed due to probably.
Let's see here. Old School Shinobi says, I miss my mask people. They are still packed at my parents' house. I'll see one day how my Hurricane survived. Well, according to Ralph, it's perfect condition. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Because it's the most indestructible toy of all time, which I disagree.
And what's great is though, also like all these, it's all paint applications. It's not stickers, which is a problem with Thunderhawk. Is it's just covered in rippable stickers. There's a few stickers on the inside cockpit, but they're pretty protected in there.
Yep.
Oh, and like your Castle Grayskull, like it's just that bright neon color stickers. I love.
Oh, this Castle Grayskull?
Yeah.
I just have it co-host with me.
Yeah, maybe they say hi to it sooner.
Anyway, I'm thankful my Thunderhawk is in really nice shape. But even in really nice shape, kind of near mint condition, the doors kind of sag a little bit, but it still looks pretty good overall.
I know this is in Toy Geeks, and I know that Ralph hates talking about toys, but did they just announce a 12-inch Green Ranger figure?
Mezco Toys, baby.
Dude, what?
I don't know if it's 12-inch. I thought the Mezco was like 8 inches.
But the line is called 12 Force or something like that. So I don't
112, I believe.
But I mean, that's rad. They don't have the white diamond under his shield, but what are you gonna do? But that's the kind of Power Rangers I've been wanting. Like a nice, real close, upscaled Power Ranger. Oh, and by the way, that this is exactly what I want from a Power Ranger toy.
But
posable.
Is it a 12-inch scale? Maybe I
look at the.
Maybe it is.
I saw a watermark that said something 12.
Well, it's 112. That's the brand or whatever, but I believe that's a shorter scale.
It's still
misleading, but it looks great.
It's got clothes, but it's got real clothes.
1/12 scale, so 6-inch. Sorry, Ralph.
Okay.
But so they're really nice though. I mean, actually, for me, the Mezcos are kind of hit or miss. Some look amazing, and some I don't really like. Like the Christopher Reeve Superman, I thought doesn't look good at all. But this one looks great. I think it does look really good with the cloth and everything. But so are you gonna drop some cash?
Oh, how much are they?
They're usually like $80 or $8,200.
Oh, really? Jeez Louise, man.
Because they're like the Hot Toys of 6-inch figures.
Then make a Hot Toy Green Ranger.
I thought Blitzway was or something like that.
Like if Hot Toys made Rangers, I'd probably drop the 300 for a green.
I think Blitzway,
because you know they would do either a replaceable head or a removable mask.
Probably
with the Tommy likeness under it. Oh man, yeah.
I've only dipped a toe into Mezco's 5 points figures. I like them quite a bit. Almost got Doc Colonel.
Oh, and one last toy thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they made a Danny action figure from the first Ninja Turtles. Like, oh my God.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Like, listen, like, as far as Screen Geeks go, like, I love the first Ninja Turtles movie. It is awesome. And the fact that they made a Danny is insane.
Cool. Same here. Like the first Ninja Turtles movie, I love it. I vividly remember looking at the newspaper, finding a time to go see it, and my parents and we went to go see it, and got it on tape. Right here, VHS tape of TMNT, the first movie. And yeah, I think it holds up.
I do too.
I don't think, but the first one I think holds up as a really good Turtles movie. The best live action Turtles movie still to this day.
Right.
And this is such a I don't say it's a major character in the movie, but you wouldn't ever think there would be a Danny action figure.
Right.
But it is in this loot crate thing. I haven't done a loot crate in forever.
Yeah, me either.
But I totally bought this though.
Yeah.
Or pre-ordered it, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jacob says now we need Charles. You know, when I was a kid, I thought that was John Malkovich, or a little bit later, I was just like, oh, I think that's John Malkovich. He kind of looked like a more normal looking John Malkovich.
Make a Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell?
Yeah.
You want menthol or regular?
But I'd go for the movie April O'Neil. I love that movie's awesome.
I believe they're doing. It's confirmed. I think it's Judith Hoag is the actress. Right. They've confirmed that her likeness will be used to make a NECA April O'Neil for the first movie.
Awesome, perfect.
PW says no way. Secret of Ooze is number one. Secret of Ooze has my favorite line. It's yeah, a little too Raph. That's my favorite line from that movie. But anyway, that movie doesn't hold up. I don't know. I think the first one holds up. Second one is kind of stupid but fun. Third one, absolute trash, except for Casey Jones coming back, because Casey Jones, always my favorite Turtles character, who's a human. But yeah, I totally got this one. So are you getting the Danny figure to have no figures to go with
I have no Turtles to go with it, but I love that it exists.
But that's where it'd be perfect if you just had a Danny figure on your shelf.
Hanging out with my Flash Gordon and Green Lantern.
And then only people that would like truly get it. Other people are like, who the hell is this guy?
It's just a guy. They probably think it's from Cobra Kai or something.
Probably. Oh man. Hi, I say that at work all the time and nobody ever knows what I'm talking about. I love that. I mean, my old friends that used to live in Raleigh, we used to use that line all the time. Never pay full price for late pizza. That's another good one. I use that one all the time. Let's see. If they use their weapons, Secret of Ooze would have been perfect. See, there you go. You're already talking about how Secret of Ooze is not as good as the first one, because in the second one, there was all like the concerns of them using weapons. So they didn't really use their weapons in the second one. They used like hot dog, sausage links, and that was lame.
They should have brought in the Foot Clan, Shredder, Krang. They should have brought in Rocksteady and Bebop. Use the Foot Clan, have them be robots, and you could beat up as many as you want. After the success of the first one, you gotta just go full bore, like everything.
But they
just go for it.
Yeah, they went quick and easy, because it was still the Mirage Films or whatever at the time were still, they were an independent film company, so they're doing it on the cheap.
But if you're gonna make Toka and Razor or whatever, like make them Rocksteady and Bebop. Make them Rocksteady and Bebop. You're already building two suits.
It's true.
And then you're all set. And Krang could literally, you don't have to see him moving around. He could be in the shadows. You could see just the brain pulling the string.
I think you could have easily done a puppet Krang. I mean, it's Jim Henson's workshop. They could have made an awesome Krang.
Yeah.
So I think that's the beauty of those films, especially the first one. The animatronics in the Jim Henson's workshop is amazing. Like the turtles look great.
God, I love those turtles.
Right? They look fantastic. And again, they just pulled it off so well, which is nuts when you think about it in retrospect. And to me, that's why the movies kind of get worse for me is the turtles look worse. Like the second one, they look like more cartoony. And by the third one, the turtles look like trash. Like I think they look awful. And it gets progressed. So I don't know if that's because, Jim Henson died. So maybe he wasn't overseeing the work or something like that. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just speculating out of my butt. But so yeah, Toka and Razor, they're fun in the movie, but still, yeah, they could have done so much with it and they didn't. And it just kind of seemed like they did it on the cheap really fast. The movie was released the next year, right? I think it was TMNT was 1990, and then Secret of Ooze was 91. So it was like right off the back of it.
I don't know why. Get Henson Company back in. Get Judith Hoag. Let's make Turtles 4. Shredder, Krang. Just do it again.
Yeah.
Physical Turtles. Do it.
I don't disagree with you. Did you like the Michael Bay Turtles movies?
I thought the second one was better than the first. They were fine. I didn't care for the super hulked out design. What I actually really liked was TMNT, the animated one.
Yeah, that was really good. And that was a continuation of the first films.
Right, because it had the Shredder mask in the Splinter's Hall of Masks.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a really good movie. Yeah, I like all the turtles had their own sort of thing going on. I liked that Leonardo was, struggling with being the leader. It was great. I liked it.
Yeah, no, I agree. And yeah, the second Bay Turtles film, I enjoyed as well, just because it was kind of the most cartoony of them. Because again, it had Bebop, Rocksteady. It had Casey Jones.
Right. And a lot of the extra accessories from the first TMNT, like the sunglasses and the little tchotchkes and stuff that were all over them, they kind of scaled that stuff back, I think, on the second one too.
Yep. Yeah, I think it did. So, let's see. Judith Hoag is actually down for it. That's good. She was in the new TMNT movies too. I think she was like April's boss or something like that. PD Dubs, first one is great. I was born in 85, and that second one is my childhood. I'm an 85 baby as well, PD Dubs, and 90. I have far more connection to the 91 than the 91 one, but it's just to each their own there. But I have like almost insane recall. Like I have memories of being 2 years old, vividly. So it may just be just my own memory thing. I'm a freak. Anywho. Turtle Talk. There you go.
Yeah.
But I agree. Bring Henson's workshop back and make it happen.
Yeah, especially if you look at like the Dark Crystal and what they did with that and the advancements in realistic puppets. Have
more puppets. Yeah. It looks better. It looks better than CGI. It looks way better than CGI.
Yeah.
And again, I think Jurassic Park had it perfect, where you had the animatronics for certain scenes when it mattered, that you wanted that realism, and then for the bigger scenes that you couldn't do it and you wanted that movement, then you have the computer animation. I think, and you don't overdo it, and I don't know.
They need to do it. Bring them all back. Technodrome, Mousers, Robotic Foot Clan. Just have the turtles just going to town on the Robotic Foot Clan.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird time for turtles, because that new show, The Rise of TMNT, Tank.
There's always a new TMNT show. It's crazy. The turtles will never go away. Might as well hit that nostalgia button.
Yeah, and they really haven't. They really haven't truly hit the nostalgia button. Like they had the early 2000s series, which I thought was a really good series. And then you had the 2012, the first Nickelodeon TMNT show, which I thought was actually a pretty good show.
I really enjoyed that one.
And then this new one, Rise of Turtles, I think it almost took the Bay stuff and went even more extreme. It just I didn't like it at all.
Right.
But they haven't like truly done like a straight nostalgia hit kind of take on the Turtles, which would be cool. Cool. Just looking at Hoag's IMDb page, I actually didn't know she was still around, but never stopped acting.
Right. Speaking of Bay, I believe she's in Armageddon.
Is she in Armageddon?
Yeah, she was like one of the wives.
Again, as a kid, not to knock on Ooze again, it wasn't Judith Hoag as April. It was I'm blanking on her name. She's a known actress in her own right. But anyways, no Judith Hoag April. And no Casey Jones. So I'm just like, why am I here? Why am I here? Michael Palmer agrees. It's not a hard concept to grasp. Just do it right. I agree. Paige Turco. Is that who did the second one? Maybe. Anyway. Sure. All right. Turtles. Get your Danny figures on pre-order right now. I feel like it's gonna be a hot. I think it's gonna be a hot figure. I'm just saying, figure of the year.
Good. I want everybody to buy a Danny, and then bring back Dan in
Yes,
the new Ninja Turtle movie. Let's do it.
Dad,
Come on.
Dad, it's Dan now. Dan. Oh man. All right. Main topic. You told me, you're like, I want to talk about this Invincible trailer.
Yeah.
And so this is okay. So I have not read the books yet.
Right. And I told you last time when we talked about the teaser, I told you this show is going to be gory.
Yes.
This trailer finally shows that off.
Well, and so I gotta ask, like, gory. I probably should spoiler, I guess. But he's looking rough. Like, I guess does he die and then comes back, or is he truly invincible? Or
listen, there's been issues later down the road where he's been ripped in half.
Yeah,
like literally in outer space, ripped in half. Yeah, blood everywhere, and they fuse him back together because he's so strong.
Okay,
right. So,
so is it a Wolverine type power then? Because Wolverine was split in half or whatever and regenerated.
He's part alien, part human. So he gets his alien DNA allows him to heal quickly. He's pretty much impervious to anything. So something that rips him in half has to be super strong. But yeah, I mean, he in the comic books, his eye goggles are the majority of the time broken and cracked and and shattered, and he's always got blood on his uniform, and he's always beat up and has bruises and stuff. So he's just he's this kid in high school. He's like a senior in high school, and then he starts getting his superpowers, and it's just him just getting beat. I can't. It's hard to explain because it's not gory. It's super gory, but it's not a dark comic book at all. It's mostly what you expect from a Spider-Man book. Lighthearted, jokey, a lot of banter, a lot of family stuff, a lot of his personal life interfering with his superhero life and vice versa. So it's very much a coming of age story.
Yep.
Of a superhero who his dad is essentially Superman. So he would be the son of Superman and Lois Lane.
Sure.
And this is a world where tons of superheroes exist, and they all have cool names, and they're all very there's this group called the Guardians of the Globe, and it's essentially a 1-for-1 Justice League. There's Martian Man, there's War Girl, there's oh my gosh, I just read this. I'm trying to remember their names. There's a Fish Man, but it's fish is actually a carp or something, or some sort of fish. But there's the Green Ghost. So it's pretty much it's almost like a love letter to comic books, but also a parody of comic books.
Yeah.
But then it also is a really good story.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting characters. And there's a ton of action, and it just doesn't hold back on the blood. That's the one thing that really sets it apart from regular comic books. Is a Batman book would be a bloodbath, a Superman book would be a bloodbath, but you never see that stuff.
Yeah.
So this is okay, people get really hurt, and so it adds a little more dramatic weight to it, and the blood is kind of there for effect. When this character, his name's Mark Grayson, and when he first gets completely bloodied up and stuff, you're oh man, this is bad for him. So it's kind of, the blood is kind of a gauge to show you how bad things are.
Yeah.
Because in Superman, someone could be punching Superman and he could have a bruise or something, but you're oh, he's not that hurt or whatever. This is okay, the amount of blood lets you know how bad things are getting. And so it's kind of part of his costume. Like he's
Yeah.
always covered in blood. You see blood on his costume way more than you don't.
Yeah.
And I mean, like if you're not a fan of gore and stuff, that's fine, because I think the story lends itself to just a really good superhero story. Yeah, if you see that last shot, his visor, his goggle is broken. That happens a ton. Happens a ton in Invincible. So his costume is never
goggles, is what you're saying.
Yeah. But what's fun about this? So he needs to go get replacement uniforms or costumes, and there's a guy kind of like an Edna Mode who has a secret. He's a tailor, but has a secret shop in the back where he makes suits for everybody.
Yeah.
And Mark Hamill is playing that character.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah. So the cast on this is amazing. It flashes up in the trailer really fast, but if you read the cast list, it's incredible.
No,
Stephen
that cast.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean,
Stephen Yeun from Walking Dead plays Mark. But look at this.
Ali, Zazie Beetz, Clancy Brown, Max Burkholder, Nicole Byer, Lauren Conan, Chad L. Coleman, Michael Pedlitz. Chris, like Michael Dorn,
Chris Diamantopoulos,
Austin Goggins, John Hamm,
Mark Hamill.
Yeah, Mark Hamill.
And I think there's even more. Gillian Jacobs, Jason Mantzoukas, Ross Marquand, Ezra Miller. Like it's an awesome cast. And then of course J.K. Simmons plays Nolan, who's Mark's dad, who plays Omni-Man, and he's essentially a Superman. Everybody knows him. Yeah, Zachary Quinto.
Yep.
Kevin Michael Richardson, who played Kilowog on the Green Lantern series. Seth Rogen, Mae Whitman. Mae Whitman, who played April O'Neil on the Nickelodeon TMNT show. Listen, and this is what's crazy. And they announced it with this trailer. It was speculated, but now it's confirmed. It's 8 episodes, but they're 1 hour long episodes.
Wow.
So it's a 1 hour long animated series.
So is each hour going to be a book or how, do you know how they're breaking that down?
I don't know how they're breaking it down. I have a feeling that I know if there's going to be a season 2, I know where season 1's going to end. Okay. For those of you who read the book, you probably also have an idea where season 1 will end. But yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know how they're doing it, but if you read the books, they go by super fast. So you could probably squeeze a lot into an episode. So maybe, I don't know, maybe a trade paperback per episode.
That's what I would think. Because when I think of, and I think Old School brings it up here, would rather have an animated saga. But though Game of Thrones diverged from comics as its series on halfway through. That's why I would just say I just rather wait. I'd wait till Saga's done. They have a plan to finish it, so just wait till it's done. And it clearly the Game of Thrones route didn't work because once they went past the books, the show, especially last season, was trash.
And what's good about Invincible is this series is over.
Yep, it is.
Like they went through episode 1 to book 1 to I think 143 or somewhere around there, but it's completed. So, and what's great about the book is Robert Kirkman, who also did The Walking Dead, he'll take like one page and just do a weird side story that's like meanwhile in another part of the galaxy. And then that story will pop up again like 5 issues later. And then 5 issues later until another story comes together. So he's really good about setting things up. And since he knows how the book ends, he'll know what he needs to put in the show. So you're going to get a lot of cool threads. You'll most likely see in the show when Mark first learns that he has superpowers. He's working at a burger place, and he's throwing the trash bag into the dumpster out back, and the trash bag flies up into the atmosphere and just disappears. So in the comic book, you find out like 6 or 7 issues later, it's just one page that takes place in England, and this guy is walking the streets, and there's a trash bag on the ground, and it says Burger World on the package on the inside. So it's like he'll do that. He'll take like story threads and sort of resolve them way later or set them up way early.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they're able to do that with the show, it's going to be so much fun to follow.
Yeah.
And I cannot recommend the book enough. I'm hoping that the show does well. I'm hoping that a lot of people watch it. I feel like it's flying under a lot of people's radar.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever kind of soapbox I have, I'm going to mention this show. Go watch it, and then listen to Invincipod.
Yeah, Invincipod.
Yeah, Invincipod. So if you go to Invincipod anywhere on .com, on YouTube, if you go to Twitter's where we're the most active. It's just Invincipod. Me and our friend James, longtime Jane Jack listener James, check it out. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
You're very excited. This is exciting stuff.
Yeah, and these are pages from the book. So if you look at the pages from the book, it looks just like the show.
It does. That's what's really cool about it. I will say.
Yeah.
That's what's really cool about it. And I'm gonna watch it. Is there a concern that it might be too much? I mean, they're both on Amazon, but like, is it too much like The Boys, or is The Boys more of it's darker, whereas Invincible is more like true comic book style stories?
I haven't watched The Boys.
Okay.
But this, I can tell you, Invincible is more like just a comic book. Mm-hmm. It's a really fun soap opera action show.
Yeah.
Or the action book, but there is gore in it just for the sake of having it. So
yeah, The Boys is more, what if superheroes were actually evil or just like a-holes,
right. This is a world where superheroes are superheroes. People love them and they hate the bad guys. The bad guys are bad, the good guys are good. And the gore is in there during fighting. There's not really any sort of like torture or any kind of serious stuff like that. This is, when you think of like Marvel movies and DC movies, the Marvel movies are like full of joy.
Yeah.
This is that.
Yeah, cool.
This is a Marvel book.
Nice. Okay.
So I can't recommend it enough. I think it's on the Amazon Unlimited if you have Comixology. So I think they're available to read. So I don't know. Check it out.
There you go.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for you. I'm excited too. It looks good. I want to be there. All right. Going back to the chat. At the rate, I think this is reference to Saga. Old School says at the rate Vaughn and Staples are going, Saga won't be done before 2035. They said they would take like 2 years off. It's been forever. I feel it's been 2 years since the last book for Saga. Hey,
I'd rather them take their time than to get burnt out.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
That book's awesome.
And it ended, I think, at a really good kind of cliffhangery point that, I don't know. It's like whenever it comes back, I'll just get back into it and it'll be fine.
Right.
I'm not stressing about it. And it'll then, whenever it is going to start to come back, I'll just reread the books again and then kind of fall in love with it again.
Yeah.
Old School says another amazing series from Image is Monstrous Beautiful World Building. I have not read that one. Have you read that one, Ralph?
I haven't.
All right, we'll have to do it. And then Michael Moore says, as it should. I don't know what that is in reference to. But Michael Palmer, sure, as it should. I'm with you.
Hey, as long as you're agreeing with us, cool.
All right, let's move on. The Hollywood Reporter today talk about a G.I. Joe TV series in the works at Amazon. Really, Amazon is just giving money to anybody these days, it feels like.
Right.
But the project focuses on Lady J, played by Adrienne Palicki, in the 2013 movie Retaliation.
So she's coming back.
Yeah, she's coming back, kind of reprising the character. And I mean, I'm cool with that. I think with Snake Eyes seeming to be like, it's taking forever whenever that movie's, I mean, it's like a lot of movies, it's kind of just been delayed indefinitely. But I'm cool with that, like we've never had a live action G.I. Joe TV series.
No. And I like G.I. Joe. I think I saw the first movie. I didn't see the second one, so maybe I should check the second one. But I mean, just based on what I've seen of like the Jack Ryan series on Amazon,
Yep.
like I feel like they have movie quality TV shows.
Yeah.
And if they move that budget into G.I. Joe, that's awesome. I really hope that, I mean, I want them to look like the 80s characters.
Agreed.
So if they can do that, like I know there's a Mask movie in the works, and the only way that I want the Mask movie to do is take place in 1985 and use the vehicles verbatim. Like really lean into the nostalgia on Mask. But I want that for this too. Like I feel like the original Joe outfits could lend themselves to realism. I don't think they were super far-fetched.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And same with, like, I'm sure you could make a cool modern version of Cobra foot soldiers. Let's get Destro and just do it right. Just make it G.I. Joe. Like hopefully they realize, like, we're doing G.I. Joe because it caters to a certain person, and it's got to be completely nostalgia. I don't think I think that's why the first film didn't work, because it wasn't enough like the cartoon. So why make a G.I. Joe movie if you're not going to make a G.I. Joe?
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get these let's get Quick Kick running around in his pajama pants and no shirt. You know, let's get Barbecue. Like, really, like, let's lean into this. Let's do it. Let's do G.I. Joe.
Also says the Joe movies were, as Jar Jar Binks say, Stinkovich. Yes. And I agree with Michael Palmer here. G.I. Joe lends itself better as a serial than theatrical release, and I agree. And I think the show would work better. Because then you can serialize it, spread out over 10 episodes. You know what Amazon usually does, they're about 10 episodes. They don't really go,
especially a property that has 1 million characters.
Yes.
You know, you take your time. It's like a Batman movie when they just kept adding villains and you're like, there's no room.
Yeah, there's no time. You don't have time.
Yeah. So yeah, let's just make it a series, make it good. Does it say I'm not gonna get into it. I was gonna say, does it say who's producing it or who's in charge?
Let's see. So we've got, let's look at the deets here.
Because hopefully it's someone cool.
Eric Olson, Amazon's Carnival Row, Netflix Daredevil is writing and will serve as showrunner. Well, Daredevil on Netflix was amazing, so I'm cool with that. And it's a standalone story centered on Lady J, but also connect the larger G.I. Joe universe.
Barbecue.
Yeah.
I know
it may be, could be.
But I don't know if I ever told you this, but I love Silverhawks, but didn't have any Silverhawks toy. So I went into the drawer in the kitchen, took out some foil, and made wings for my Barbecue action figure. And he was a Barbecue was a Silverhawk.
I love that. I think all of us as kids have done that in the past. My most vivid memory for that was, in the late 80s, early 90s, there really wasn't a Mario action figure. Like, there wasn't there was no Mario action figure. So like, I made one out of paper, and that was like my Mario action figure that I used until I think the Ertl Super Mario Brothers Bob Hoskins Mario release. But I didn't care, because I was like, finally, I have a Mario action figure. And I was Playco Toys in El Cajon, California, and I picked that thing up, and I cherished that Bob Hoskins Mario action figure, because that really was the first Mario action figure. There was some other you had the
Happy Meal toys,
Happy Meal toy, Mario,
the Goomba with the suction cup. Oh yeah, he has a suction cup too.
Yeah, the Goomba had the little flips.
He does the backflip. Yeah.
But
that's a great toy, by the way.
But they're great. I mean, they are great. But my problem with the Super Mario 3 Mario, it's just, again, it wasn't like an action figure. I couldn't pose his arm.
He's sitting.
Yeah, and he's sitting. So this was okay, but man, that Super Mario Brothers movie, Bob Hoskins Mario, I was like, yes. I have a soft spot in my heart for that movie. I remember seeing it. I remember going to it. And as a kid, I didn't care. I didn't know what bad movies were. And I did. Even as a kid, I was questioning so much of that movie. It's like, this doesn't make sense. Why is that? That's weird. Why is why is he just this ball of gross stuff? And then he turns into a human. It didn't make any sense, but I didn't care because it was Mario, and I was just really pumped about that. Anyway, and it would be executive produced by Lorenzo di Bonaventura,
Sure.
producer of the movie franchise. So maybe that's not as good for you because you want it to be very nostalgia driven. But yeah, I'm totally down with that. I think the G.I. Joe TV series could be really, really cool, with the G.I. Joe classified toy line being really successful, like really, really popular. It's impossible to find it in stores. I really think that Michael Palmer says visual that Mario Brothers movie is fantastic. Story wise, not so much. I agree. Again,
yeah, I was
excited to have a Mario action figure. Okay,
right.
I don't understand how excited I was. Again, I made one out of paper. That was my Mario action figure until I got that Bob Hoskins Mario.
Shrinky Dinks.
Oh my God, Shrinky Dinks.
We used to take styrofoam cups, draw on them, and my mom would put them on a cookie sheet and bake them, and they would shrink up into little tight cups this big when they dehydrated. And we used to make I used to draw like Luke Skywalker on it.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's some good old fashioned fun right there. Old School Shinobi, no movie with Dennis Hopper playing the villain can be all bad. I can't disagree with you, Old School.
All right,
can't disagree.
Cool.
All right, let's move on here. The Luca trailer.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this.
Now, generally we talk about geeky movies, but I feel like Pixar is kind of geeky. There's Pixar out there. But this
talked about
a really sweet movie, and it seems more Coco than I don't know, some of the other Pixar movies I have problems with.
Right, and I like the character design. It looks like Pixar is finally, added a little artistic flair to their designs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited about that. I feel like
it kind of has the feel of like a Wallace and Gromit kind of look.
Yeah, the characters have sort of kind of a translucent feel to them. Like you could see the light coming through their skin, which gives them a real kind of a unique look to them. Mm-hmm. And also the shapes and stuff are very cartoony.
Yeah,
and it doesn't look like they're going for realism.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at Brave and Onward, they try to make the trees look like real trees and everything look like real things. But why do that when you can create a whole world? Mm-hmm. So I like that this has more of a cartoony feel to it. Mm-hmm. I feel like the characters have cartoony proportions.
Yep.
And the brightness and the colors. The town reminds me of Popeye, the Robin Williams movie, which is totally fine.
Yeah. And
then the mermaid, merboys,
look
really cool. I think the designs are really neat.
Yeah.
I'm actually excited for a Pixar movie. Go figure. just based on the art alone, this is what grabs me. I love animation, but I love animation as an art form. It's no fun trying to be realistic.
No, I agree. And I think it's not even showing it. Oh, damn it. I've been putting these images up on here thinking that it's showing up on the thing.
Oh.
Anyway. Okay, we'll go to watch on YouTube. I'm a dummy. Anyway, that scene seemed really cool.
Right.
But
yeah, the way the water splashes and his skin changes into a merboy.
Yeah.
It has a really cool artistic design. That's so great.
Mm-hmm.
Not everything is so realistic. Even the chairs have a kind of a rounded cartoon quality to it.
Yeah.
Everything just has a cool look to it. So I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited.
I agree.
Yeah, he's
good.
He's almost drawn like an anime.
Mm-hmm.
Like his mouth has sort of a anime monkey mouth shape to it.
Mm-hmm.
and the other one has a completely different shape head.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and the hair, even though the hair has some sort of realistic texture, the designs are like these broad strokes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not realistic hair. So
that's your complaint with Pixar is everything is realistic, but the characters have like this kind of
the characters look cookie cutter.
Yeah.
So this is pushing the whimsical side on the design and less realism. Like the characters look more designed. Like even look at the red on the cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like it looks very cartoon, like a drawing, like you'd paint the rosy cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
So perfect, awesome.
No, I agree. I think it looks like a lot of fun. Colleen is right. I'm always excited when there's a movie we can take kids to. I agree. And Colleen is a full 100% Italian woman. This is looks like it's in Italy, so that's it's the Colleen.
Yeah.
So that's good. Yes, my wife has an Irish name, but she is 1,000,000,000% Italian. Old School says, my name is Luca. I live on this. My name is Luca. I live on the second floor. It's funny how one song just like define a name. Scott D is in the house. Missed you, Scott. Good to see you, fellas. What's up? Better late than never.
Yeah, he was doing dishes. He told me he was doing dishes while this was going on. I'm glad the dishes are done, man.
Subtext in Luca is brilliant. Agreed. It's Dan Taylor says, I think they are sea monkeys, or at least the design seems to be based off what they would usually think of as sea monkeys. So like the little things you put in water.
Yeah, the brine shrimp. Yeah.
Still cool.
They're cool looking. Yeah. I like that they don't look like usually with like a mermaid character, the top half would be human and the bottom half would be fish. Mm-hmm. This is like, so I don't know if they're sea monkeys or mermen or what.
Yeah.
But they're different than what you would normally see. Mm-hmm. And I like it that their full bodies change into a sea creature.
Yeah.
So
yeah. No, I agree.
It looks
looks good. I'm in.
Fingers crossed.
But in fact, I like Pixar films in general because I think the stories are usually really compelling stories, and they hit in a certain way. But I'm a sap, and I cry at everything. So like Pixar is almost designed to just make you cry. So that's why I generally enjoy the movies. Michael Palmer, Pixar equals how long did you cry for? Yeah, exactly. Usually they try and it's a movie for kids, but there's like subtext in there for adults that just kind of punches you in the gut. Makes you cry. Colleen says, great, I'll make a therapy appointment for whatever this movie will drudge up for me. Sorry about that, Colleen. I'm not Irish at all. Thanks, 23andMe. Yeah, Colleen's one of those great 23andMe stories where her father thought he was like half Irish. So named all his daughters Irish names. And then they did 23andMe to find out that they're all 100% Italian. Speaking of animation, have you seen pics for Kevin Smith's Masters of the Universe series? Hate to say it, but yikes.
I haven't.
It is interesting. We will be digging into it deeply on Toy Geeks because we have images of those figures. Go ahead. I
completely forgot about MODOK. That trailer dropped today. Did you see MODOK?
No, I didn't. MODOK?
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure you can just type in MODOK. MODOK. Yeah, there it is.
What is this?
Dude, it's the MODOK. There's a show.
I know what MODOK is, but I didn't realize they're making a MODOK show.
But it's Patton Oswalt, and it looks like a comedy. And this is it. This is what I'm talking about. This was what I'm talking about, artistic animation. I don't know if this is CG. I don't know if it's stop motion, but the design is very, very interesting. It's a really cool design. I can't imagine them doing the whole series in stop motion, but it has that look. It's a really interesting design. Wow. So,
is this coming out? It kind of looks like Robot Chicken a little bit.
A little bit, it does. And I'm not sure if it could be them. If it is, then it's stop motion. But also, this has blood in it, which is why it's going to be on Hulu instead of Disney Plus. Yeah. But it is in the Marvel universe.
Interesting.
But look at, is that Do you think that's stop motion? I think it's stop motion.
It looks like stop motion.
Right.
But
Just
computer animation now. They probably just do it in a computer. It's not. It's probably
maybe.
aside from whatever that studio is that did. Anyways,
Leica.
That. Thank you.
Yeah, I love Leica. It's a really interesting design, and it's a comedy, and it's rated R, and it just has it's. It just came out today. I completely forgot to add it in the notes.
Yeah, no, I'm down for that 100%. 100%.
Yeah. I haven't seen any of this Masters of the Universe stuff. I'm a big He-Man fan. It looks bad. How can it look bad? It's Netflix.
It's hard to say. But I think I haven't seen images from the cartoon. All I saw was the figures.
Oh.
Figures are making waves. I'm trying to think of what would have.
Oh man. Do they look like?
Well, it's first look. Does News I have it? Maybe they don't have it. I have to dig.
Oh man.
Maybe.
I'm super interested now. I don't. How do you mess up He-Man?
Because it kind of looks. The He-Man looks dumb. Not dumb. Here it is. Okay. So here we go. These are the two images. Two main images from that. But this is based on the Kevin Smith stuff. And
okay.
I think Evil Lynn looks awesome. The figure. I think she looks great. Skeletor seems fine. The cape looks really cheap.
They have sort of a Mike Mignola look to him.
A little bit, yeah. And so for me, it's the He-Man. The head looks dopey to me. And the sword looks weird. So it's hard to say. This is like a first glance, and it's hard to say without getting more details. The Battle Cat seems a little squatty. It's too early, I think, to say this looks bad.
I wonder if it's just maybe it works better design wise on the TV show and it doesn't translate well into toys.
Yeah.
I'd love to see some images from the cartoon.
I think again, it's Kevin Smith run. I think it's going to be good.
But he didn't draw them or anything, so it's not like.
Again, these are toys, and I didn't think the Grayskull's going to be that great in person, and the Grayskull's amazing in person. By the way, have I shown the Grayskull yet on the thing today?
No, go ahead and show it.
It's so cool.
While I look at a bigger image of these figures.
But the Battle Cat looks a little weird. And yes, people are not excited for the other He-Man show. I think this is more the kid-geared He-Man show. And yes, it looks a little extreme. But I will say my son, who's 6, watches a lot of just the CGI shows or the CG shows on Netflix. Right. And he might really dig this. So, this might be one of those cases of this He-Man is not for us. It's not for 30s and 40s year old people.
Unfortunately, because it's Kevin Smith, people are going to think exactly it's for them.
Well, this show isn't the Kevin Smith show. This is like the kids show. This one.
Okay.
And this one is
I'm assuming the Kevin Smith one is along the lines of the She-Ra show. Because that's Netflix as well.
It is. They're going to be different universes. I think the She-Ra show looks great. I think She-Ra, the new She-Ra, I think looks fantastic.
I'm wondering why they would release the figures without releasing footage.
Well, so these images were taken from a Mattel investor meeting. So that's another thing about here is like this was to show to investors or whatever. This was not to talk about. This wasn't like revealing fans. And so again, it's a virtual analyst day meeting. So we'll dig into this more on Toy Geeks on Sunday. But I don't know. I'm gonna hold harsh judgment till then.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing this show.
Also says, "Oh, my bad. I didn't realize there were 2 different shows here." Yes, there are 2 different shows. At least that was my understanding. There is like a CGI or CG, like computer animated show for kids. And then there's the Kevin Smith show, which I think is animated. So there's that. We'll do more research before Sunday show. I prefer a kid version if they tone down the tech and lean more into the Conan. But it doesn't seem like, again, I don't know if if it's for kids, maybe they're going to lean more on the tech side because maybe that's what kids will be more into. I don't know. I don't know till we see it. We don't know.
That Battle Cat looks nuts.
And then it's saying I finished that Voltron was gonna be good. Then I watched the first season and I love it. I watched the first season too and I loved it. He said he hated the last season, but that's neither here nor there. I think I've watched the first 2 seasons of Netflix Voltron, which was fantastic. I thought they were really good. Like, oh, I see now. They really should make sure audiences know the difference because their older fans are gonna be turn off things for kids versions. Yeah, again, that's where I think, unfortunately, these are pictures kind of essentially leaked from this analyst meeting. So it's not, this is not a fully perfectly gift wrap thing for fans.
Right.
And I think that's important to have that perspective.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. All right. One last thing. Spider-Man 3, No Way Home. What do you think that means? I think, this is my guess.
One, he's trapped in the multiverse.
I think your theory is right in that we see the J.K. Simmons, J. Jonah Jameson.
Right.
And that is him in the Tobey Maguire verse.
Right. That Mysterio actually transported him to an alternate dimension.
Yep.
And that alternate dimension is where Mysterio is dead in that dimension. But I think in our dimension, Mysterio was able to get rid of Spider-Man and continue on.
Yeah, maybe. That's where I think it is. So I think it is. Again, this title, when I saw it, I was like, oh, I think Ralph's theory is right because it would make sense. He's stuck in the Tobey verse, or is it the Garfield verse? Maybe goes across. I don't know.
Both. I love Raimi's Spider-Man movies. The third one, not so much.
Sure.
But you know, when you reboot a series, I kind of feel like the predecessors kind of just get kicked to the curb.
Yep.
So to bring new life into those and have them still matter is very exciting to me.
So exciting.
Oh my gosh, Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker again. I can't even wait. Yep. I can't.
Agreed.
Yeah. To see him interacting with Tom Holland.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. It makes me excited for Spider-Man.
Yeah. Again, like Spider-Man is hitting it here. We know that there's this Flashpoint movie coming out, which looks to do the same. This seems to be further along, so we'll get this first.
Right.
But still, it's really exciting. It's really exciting. All the people that are going to be in there.
Talk about hitting a nostalgia button.
Right? Michael Palmer, Mysterio created the Hex in WandaVision. We all know he didn't, but one can dream. Hey? I want to
make me talk about WandaVision. We didn't talk about it at all last week.
I thought WandaVision was really good last week.
Yeah.
By the way,
I think it's picking up.
It's hitting on all cylinders. Like it's really good. See, it's Dan Taylor. I'm one of the few who liked Amazing Spider-Man series. They weren't perfect, but I thought they had some good ideas. I really dug the first Amazing Spider-Man. The second one had that flaw of the putting way too much in one movie.
Yeah, I didn't see the second one, but I'm probably going to have to now. If Andrew Garfield shows up, why wouldn't he?
I'm not going to argue with you, Jay. I think Garfield was a really good Spider-Man. I thought he had that kind of snarky, just talking his like through the whole thing, like the comic. Like I
didn't like that he kept mentioning that he hated Mondays and he wouldn't stop eating lasagna. But other than that, Garfield makes a pretty good Spider-Man. Dude, let's get a live action Spider-Ham. Right? Like, let's do this. Let's do this multiverse.
Jeff,
bring Spider-Man.
All you have to do is just make a comment. Just make a comment. And you get put out in the thing, Jeff. It's good, but Let's see. Toby was the best Peter Parker. Garfield was the best Spider-Man. Holland is the middle ground. It is interesting how we kind of have these debates where, you know, like for me as a kid, when I used to debate like the best Batman, I'm like, well, Keaton's the best Bruce Wayne and all these other things. But to me, in retrospect, Keaton's just the best Bats.
He's the best both.
He's the best both.
Yeah. Yeah. I love Ben Affleck's Batman.
I agree.
I liked what's his name's Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
But Keaton for both.
Keaton for both. Yeah. Keaton did because what I think he did is he did the great kind of, I don't know, he was the best for portraying the duality of the character, I think.
Yeah.
And kind of capturing that versus like Bale did a great, I think he tried to do the duality of Batman. And I still didn't, it's not like I don't like him as Batman, but the whole like, swear to me, kind of takes away a little bit from.
I love how Kilmer and Clooney never enter the conversation, ever.
Because I think they were just filling a suit, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because but then they also suffer from in Forever and in, they were like side characters in those movies. Because Forever, it's Carrie and Tommy Lee Jones and Chris O'Donnell.
Arnold.
And then you have Batman and Robin, where it's Arnold, Uma Thurman, and yeah.
Right.
It's Dante. Excuse me, Kevin Conroy is the best Batman. Hey, yeah. I can't argue with you. I can't argue with that thought. I agree. Nicholas Hammond is the best Spider-Man. I'd watch a Spider-Ham and pork rind movie. Hey, listen, I think Spider-Ham is an underrepresented character. John Mulaney's portrayal of Spider-Ham in Multiverse or Spider-Verse was amazing. I totally agree. It says Kilmer doesn't enter the conversation because he was arguably a decent Batman in a crazy movie. Yeah, I agree.
To answer Jeffrey Barter's question, 100% Team Godzilla. I'm a huge Godzilla fan. And my co-host Jorge on the Kaiju podcast, he is a huge King Kong fan.
Mm-hmm.
So we're very much looking forward to bringing the podcast back to talk about that on at the end of March. But yeah, I'm a Godzilla fan, huge Godzilla fan.
I like them both. I'm like, why not both?
Right. No, I love King Kong, but I have 2 Godzilla figures right now. I have 0 Kong figures.
To me, I feel like Kong generally, at least what I've seen on screen, is the more compelling character. Like I really dug Peter Jackson's King Kong, the original King Kong movie. It's a sympathetic character. And the Kong from Skull Island I thought was really good.
Yeah, he's really good.
James Rice says, can't wait for a new Kaiju pod.
It's going to be about a month. So you're just going to have to wait a month.
Let's see. Kilmer's Batman was not. I think Kilmer's Batman was fine. I think he had the best cowl face. Kilmer's cowl face was the best looking Batman.
Right.
But also Keaton had a good chin profile. Keaton and Kilmer had the best, like,
I think Affleck too.
Affleck had a good one too, yeah.
Yeah, they really picked the good chins.
But Bale's, I think, never was great for me because it was almost just, it was a little circle.
A little tiny mouth hole.
Yeah, a little mouth hole.
He looked like Conan O'Brien talking to Bill Clinton.
Jacob says, definitely Team Zilla. I don't see how an ape could beat her. But see, that's where the ape is smarter. And in the trailer, had that little scale, and I feel like the sapien can be a little bit more. Godzilla's brute strength, and maybe King Kong's a little more. He's got the
mental game.
Yeah, maybe mental game. I don't know. Jason, I'm still trying to get used to Affleck's Batman. I thought, again, that's my favorite part of Batman v Superman is Batman.
Right, and he feels.
I'm not going to do it.
Affleck looks and sounds similar to how Batman is drawn in the comics. Like he feels really close to the comic book Batman.
Yeah. Bat nipples matter. I don't mind the bat. It didn't really bother me. It's more of one of those things like everybody started to hate on him, so I was like, okay, I guess the nipples are too much, but I don't know. It's an over the top movie. It's Joel Schumacher. You just kind of go with it, you know. Old School says, bring back nipples on the superhero costumes.
He's just waiting for Captain Marvel 2.
Well, listen, I think, you know, if you think about it, there's probably like nipple chafing with the suit. So the little extra space for the nipples just gives the nipple comfort for the superheroes.
Less rubbing.
Exactly. It's like when you go to the reason why I'll never do a marathon is I've watched a couple of friends do a marathon, and there's always those sad, poor people that didn't protect the nipples, and they have blood just running down their shirt. And they're like, that's not for me. Not for me.
Yeah, try fighting the Joker without protected nipples.
Exactly. You got it. The nipples are sensitive, and that's why you got to have space for them on your superhero suits.
All right.
My heroes without bloody nipples. Oh, this show is going to
yeah.
All right, that's it. We're closing this out. Ralph, as always, it's great chatting with you and hanging out with you. Definitely hit that like button if you haven't done it already. Smash that subscribe button. Click that bell icon. Screen Geeks, Thursdays at 9 p.m. We talk about all the geeky TV and film and sometimes game news. They didn't say it, Ralph. You can't do it.
I'm waiting.
You can't. Whoa! This Sunday we'll have a new Toy Geeks, and after that, I'm sure there'll be something else. So until then, hasta luego, and goodbye.
Bye.